I'm trying to get that dough. Every day is another struggle. This is my life. So what if my plans said no? Just sit back.
What's up, y'all? We are back with another video on the channel, and today we are reacting to They Tried to Cancel These Rappers. This video is by Hello Yassine. I think that's how you say his name. Yassine. I've watched some of their videos before. I think he just put this video out about 4 to 5 days ago. So let's go ahead and get into it. And it's about, I guess, the rappers that cancel culture has tried to cancel in the past few years. Because cancel culture just came into conception, what, 2017? That's when I think I started hearing the term cancel culture.
Concerns and new ideas to get discussed and sorted out in the public domain. Whether we're talking about creative freedom or living in a free country, sometimes people exercise their right to free speech, and after speaking their minds, they get met with massive opposition. In the entertainment industry, there's been a big debate about cancel culture, a concept that calls out people online or offline for comments and activities that are believed to be worth that individual getting ostracized for, sometimes losing their job, and being socially shamed. When people like Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby have had their work boycotted and their legacies canceled during the Me Too movement, these have been examples of cancel culture in response to behaviors and alleged actions and crimes that these individuals have committed. Bill Cosby has since been freed, so that's one case, but Harvey Weinstein is serving his time. Then there have been other times when entertainers have been roasted in the public forum for divisive comments, such as Kanye West's infamous slavery seeming to have been a choice, which was somewhat taken out of context, but nevertheless, that's the outcome. This statement quickly led to Ye seeing his popularity sink to the pits of social media hell, or I believe a better word than popularity would be favorability.
I feel like he became more popular after that, especially on social media.
For everything from their political opinions, perceived quote-unquote homophobia, quote-unquote anti-Semitism, colorism, racism, phobics, all of that, chauvinism, bullying, whatever the case may be. Cancel culture can rub people the wrong way when it starts to feel like censorship or thought police. It's highly unlikely that anyone can say what everyone wants to hear every single time they open their mouth. Plus, wouldn't their music and the world as a whole be completely boring if we never heard any personal opinions that didn't agree with what quote-unquote society deemed to be right at this moment in time? On the other hand, there have been times when artists have arguably pushed things too far and heard a whole lot of feedback for it. And here are some major examples of how rappers defeated cancel culture. Kanye West, no stranger, maybe an OG to this. Not only is Kanye West a rapper among all of his other talents who beat cancel culture, but he's also well aware of his ability to cope with it time and time again. Kanye's technique has been, when cancel culture comes for him, he shifts his energy in a different direction to keep his focus on creating and changing the narrative associated not only with his antics but his name. In an exclusive interview with Big Boy's Neighborhood, Ye declared, "People trying to sun me left and right, strategize. I've been canceled. I've been canceled before they had cancel culture. I was canceled before they had the term," which is facts. Part of Kanye's familiarity with cancel culture is that he's been up against it on a regular basis. But there were 3 times in particular when cancel culture got super crucial for Kanye. First, there was Kanye's Taylor Swift situation that popped off at the 2009 MTV VMAs. When Taylor was awarded Best Female Video for You Belong With Me, Kanye took it upon himself to interrupt Taylor's acceptance speech with the infamous statement,
"Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time."
This event made Kanye such a source of hate in the media that even Barack Obama, the president of the United States at the time, put his clean-cut and calm demeanor on hold and straight up called Kanye a jackass.
When did he say that?
Unbelievable, huh? We also can note that perhaps Kanye was canceled even before this when he said George Bush doesn't care about black people. With disgust emerging from every which way after
No,
disrupting
because
Taylor Swift's
niggas praised him for
2009
that.
moment, how
So
did
he
Kanye
really didn't
deal
get
with the cancel
canceled.
culture coming for his throat? He disappeared into a self-imposed exile to flee from the paparazzi's invasion of privacy. He started traveling abroad to Italy and Japan with his buddy Virgil Abloh, who was Kanye's creative director at the time. Along with forging ahead with his passion for fashion, Ye repurposed his feelings into his next album, stating, "I went to Hawaii and took all the creative energy that I wanted to express, and we put it into an album called My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. We have all these rules of what people can do in the studio, and I'm constantly concerned about what I'm wearing. But it's hard to really get fresh in Hawaii because you can't layer up and everything." When Kanye West decided to publicly put
Oh shit. Absolutely not. We're not doing no copyright claims on this channel. Let me go ahead and skip Lance.
his political support behind Donald Trump, probably the least favored politician in hip-hop, Kanye started to look like someone
Not
that
in
no one
hip-hop.
in the quote-unquote culture was able to recognize. This no longer seemed like the same man that spoke out against George Bush.
I think when he did that,
during
he
the
was
Hurricane
canceled for
Katrina
like a
era.
little bit.
The image of Kanye West in Trump's red MAGA hat was just too much
But
to
I
bear
feel
for
like
some people.
I feel like when it comes to black people, we don't know how to really stand on anything. It's like we say that somebody's canceled and then the next week we're playing their music or we're watching their movie or whatever have you. We don't know how to stand on shit when it comes to nothing. Like, I feel like it has to directly affect us personally for us to stand on anything. But when it comes to us like really sticking together, we don't really do that. So that's why it's so easy for people who are quote unquote canceled to be uncanceled. Crazy.
And soon, cancel culture came calling. Kanye's approach to avoid the smoke seemed to be that he not only took off Trump's MAGA hat, but he went a massive step further. He decided to run against Trump in the 2020 election under his own political banner that he called the Birthday Party. This was a bit of a disaster, and the media circus circulating around Kanye's campaign for his presidency. His Donald Trump support was temporarily forgotten since another story was much bigger than it, along with the cancel culture energy, at least for the time being. There was also the time, like we had mentioned, when Kanye West made his critique of slavery when Kanye told TMZ in May of 2018,
slavery was a
"When you
choice."
hear about slavery for 400 years? 400 years? That sounds like a choice. You were there for 400 years? And it's all of y'all? It's like we're mentally imprisoned." This statement would definitely haunt him for a while, almost unraveling any goodwill he may have mustered up until that point. And one turning point happened the following year after those slavery comments. Kanye deflecting the clause of cancel culture seemed to be when he began his gospel group called Sunday Service Choir, performing every Sunday beginning of January of 2019. This seemed to be a moment where it looked like Kanye West was stepping back towards his Jesus Walks days. Tyler, the Creator. When it comes
He
to
was canceled?
controversial commentary, Tyler, the Creator is one rapper who almost invites cancel culture to come knocking at his
I didn't know
door,
he was canceled.
just so he can flip them all the middle finger, which is kind of ironic because the people that subscribe to cancel culture now are the majority of current or newer Tyler, the Creator fans that most likely discovered him after Flower Boy. Back in 2011, Tyler stated that he looked at his songs like they were movies, and he was simply a storyteller who enjoys the limitless possibilities of the fantasy genre. Fast forward to August 26, 2015, Tyler, the Creator, posted on Twitter how the negative response to his lyrics affected his career in Europe by stating, "Based on lyrics from 2009, I'm not allowed in the UK for 3 to 5 years, although I was there 8 weeks ago.
What did he
This
say?
is why the shows were canceled." Then, about 2 months later, in October 2015, there was an uproar over Tyler, the Creator's lyrics by a feminist group who accused the rapper of misogyny and quote-unquote homophobia in his song F It. This led to Tyler canceling an Australian tour that he was booked to embark on at the time. And one thing we have to give respect for to Tyler, the Creator, is not only has he actually been canceled and banned from certain countries for extended periods of time,
I
but he's
didn't know
never
that.
apologized and tried to beg to get back in their good graces. To make matters worse, though, almost 4 years later, in 2019, there were still people who were reposting old supposed sexist tweets made by Tyler about Selena Gomez, and pushing a Twitter hashtag Tyler the Creator is over party. How was Tyler the Creator able to sidestep these continuous efforts to make him a victim of cancel culture? As a provocateur, Tyler simply seemed to use the backlash to his advantage. He never quit creating and brought his own brand of growth and maturity to the table each time. This allowed his fanbase to grow and expand right along with him. He didn't need to double down because he had changed from that person that he was, but he wasn't going to shed that altogether. He was just going to present to people, this is what I am now, and you can take it or leave it. At this point, Tyler the Creator is practically cancel proof, not just because he doesn't care what people think or because he infuses a huge amount of humor into his work. Tyler remains protected from cancel culture because he's been known for saying completely outrageous things since day one, and possibly because he might be playing with the rainbow. Plus, any bad thing he stated in the past is connected to an outdated version of himself, which people don't seem to really care about regarding other artists. But Tyler continues
which is
to
wild
reinvent
to
himself
me, because you can go ahead and you can say whatever you want to say. Just because you've said it in the past and people know that you are ratchet or they're used to you being so outlandish and saying certain things that they give you a pass. But for other people, you can't say that. You can't say this or you'll get canceled. I don't like that.
with each new project, leaving his critics in the past. When it comes to cancel culture, rappers are understandably worried about losing everything that they've worked hard to build. From lucrative brand sponsorships for their tours to their own merchandise and products that they service their loyal fans with for a hefty price. If any rapper has faced the relentless cancel culture silencing machine head on and had quite a bit to lose, it's none other than 50 Cent. The stakes for 50 were sky high after growing beyond his music and becoming a hip-hop entrepreneur. 50 Cent has had his massive vitamin water deal, the creation of the Power television show franchise, and the liquor brand Effin. 50 Cent hasn't really ever strayed away from controversy. If anything, he's walked into it head first. He found himself catching huge flack when he made divisive remarks about black women during an interview on Lil Wayne's Young Money Radio on Apple Music. 50 made the claim that black women get upset with black men for dating quote-unquote exotic-looking women, where he said,
"They get mad, they get angry. You see a lot of sisters go, you F with this kind of girl and that kind of girl, that stuff is exotic. That stuff look a lot different than the stuff you see in the neighborhood all the time. That stuff looked like it came off a boat."
Naturally, 50 found himself in the hot seat, upsetting a large number of people. When 50 Cent made fun of actor Terry Crews' assault, there was a petition with practically 40,000 signatures asking the...
I also feel like a lot of the times when these celebrities make comments pertaining to the black community, they don't get canceled. Because a lot of the times people don't care about black people. They don't care about how you feel. They don't give a fuck about us at all. So they're gonna come for us. They're gonna say certain things about us because they know that the general masses don't care. They're gonna continue to buy their music. They're gonna continue to support them. So all you can do in that moment is you yourself not support that artist if you feel like you're being degraded or disrespected or whatever have you. But people don't care. When it comes to them saying shit about us, they do not care at all.
The Starz television network to remove 50. All of that effort ended up with an empty result. Beautiful, isn't it?
What the hell?
50 Cent still remains standing tall, even going as far as going at cancel culture directly by saying that he believes heterosexual males are the biggest target of cancel culture. 50 Cent also went with the Kanye West route and became another rapper who spoke up about his support of Trump, pushing for him to get re-elected in somewhat of a joke. 50
Not today. We're gonna skip the ad. Bruh. Come on.
proposed,
Get it together.
posting, "What the F? Vote for Trump. I'm out. F New York. The Knicks never win anyway. I don't care Trump doesn't like black people. 62% of you? Are you out of your mind?" In reference to the supposed tax
Oh my
rate.
god.
Along with this Instagram caption, 50 Cent also included a photo that had a screenshot of a news network's listing of Biden's proposed tax rates. After ruffling the feathers of many folks on Twitter, people took turns making fun of his perceived tax issues. Even 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend got in on the trending topic and said that she was willing to pay his taxes, grandstanding if I've ever seen
He did it, Chelsea Handler?
50 would end up backtracking on his position on that one.
What was
50 managed
this?
to get away with publicly making fun of Wendy Williams' appearance, called 6ix9ine his son during all of 6's snitching drama, or right before that actually, saying that he would take the rainbow-haired rapper over his own estranged blood son Marquise when 6ix9ine was hot. He also had negative things to say about Dwayne Wade's child, and 50 even defended R. Kelly and XXX in 2018 on Twitter when they had their music pulled from Spotify because of their allegations. How has 50 been able to remain invincible to the otherwise lasting effects of cancel culture? Basically, 50 has consistently remained the same aggressive guy who may be considered petty by his detractors, but also calculated and strategic by those inspired by his business acumen. There's a direct line connecting 50 Cent from when we first got familiar with him during his early mixtape run and Get Rich or Die Trying era to the wealthy mogul he is today. It's hard to cancel 50 because 50 has always been 50. Like it or not, we don't expect him to have great things to say about those he chooses to criticize. How did the well-known, well-liked, nice guy, good boy of hip-hop Nick Cannon find himself in a situation where cancel culture came for his neck? The situation that caused Cannon to get the pink slip from Viacom and ask to leave was an episode of the Cannon's Class podcast where he had a discussion with Professor Grip from the legendary hip-hop group Public Enemy. During the course of that particular episode, Nick Cannon stated that he believes that there's a higher chance that people with melanated skin, or in other words, black people, are more compassionate than white or supposedly Jewish people. Nick Cannon also doubled down by saying they had to be barbaric because they're in these Nordic mountains in reference to white people. They're in these rough, torrential environments, so they're acting as animals. So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually true savages. This isn't what he was quote-unquote canceled for. He was canceled when he agreed with Professor Griff that melanated people or black people were the real Jews, which is more of an Israelite take. So how did Cannon avoid a potentially career-canceling event? Well, they had Nick Cannon go on an apology tour after he had doubled down. They took away his...
I also feel like once he doubled back and apologized, I feel like he got double canceled. Because when he said what he said, black people agreed with him. And of course, the opposition, they didn't. And they went on, you know, whatever they went on and was trying to get him out of here. But when he doubled back on it and was like, I apologize, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that, I feel like he got doubled canceled. If that's even a thing. I feel like he got double canceled. Because white people canceled him and then the niggas canceled him. And it was like, nah, bruh. Like, you should have stood on your shit, basically.
Show, they said, Nick Cannon, if you want your show, you're going to have to be a good boy. And he said, yes, sir. Jumped twice and was a good boy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
He said he
God.
was going to get further education from Jewish leaders. He was doing book reports on Jewish authors on Facebook for months.
Not book
and he
reports.
also had a rabbi on the next episode of
Oh,
Cannon's
my
Class.
God.
And he was allowed to remain the host of the television shows Wild 'N Out and The Masked Dancer, which is ironic considering he was doubling down saying he owned Wild 'N Out and there was nothing they could do about it, and all of a sudden it got canceled and there was nothing he could do about it. So did he really ever own it in the first place? Then there's Boosie. When it comes to
Oh,
Boosie,
God.
we'll be here all day. But Boosie found himself on the bad side of the internet when he made multiple comments that got him labeled as not too fond of the rainbow agenda. Boosie, after he had made some remarks about Dwayne Wade's son, daughter, whatever that thing is now, what Boosie say that got him in hot water with cancel culture? On Instagram, Boosie said, I gotta say something about this, bro. Dwayne Wade, you gone too far, dog. That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal is gonna be. They don't have nothing figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything, at 16 and fall in love with her. But his D be gone. How he gonna like, bruh, you going too far, dog. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his D off, bruh. Don't. And dress him as a woman. Dog, he's 12 years old. He's not up there yet. He hasn't made his final decisions yet. Don't cut his D off, Dwayne Wade, bruh. You tripping, dog. You tripping, dog. This led to a quick and fast
He
internet
read
bashing
it
of
like that.
Boosie. It wasn't just that he
Wow.
got caught up in. There was also the moment when he told Instagram followers on IG Live that he got his underage son and nephews hooked up with an older woman. What did Boosie say this
Yep.
time? Ain't finna get my son no mother effing stuff out here. I'm training these boys right. I'm training these boys right. Ask any of my nephews. Ask any of them. Ask my son. Yeah, when they was 12, 13, they got hit. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Hell yeah, I got my son D-sucked. You right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown. Super grown. Super grown. Checked his ass out. Checked all my nephews out. Super grown. Is she grown? She checked me out. I know what the F she did to them. She checked me out that I'm getting them prepared, man. Which is kind of ironic because he says at 12 they don't know what their next meal going to be. But looks like Boosie knows what their next meal is going to be. Well, I think he knows what that grown woman's next meal is going to be. But even with serious
Wow.
hot button topics as such, putting a quote unquote stain on his name, Boosie seems that cancel culture hadn't had much of an effect on him whatsoever on his commentary or the stance that he's taken, and he has continuously stepped his foot down, doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down, and quintupled down. There's no signs that his career has died out due to these situations either, but he isn't much of a musician.
Boosie
now,
stopped
so
having a career ever since fucking Independent. Wasn't that the song that was called? Oh my god. No, I don't care.
So what can they really do? Saweetie. So before we
Sweetie.
start jumping to the conclusion
When they cancel
that
her.
cancel culture only comes from men in the room, women get it too here and there. Mulatto's a different one, but that one's too short to really get into. Massive luxury brand materialism has been a fetish of
When
many
did she get canceled?
male rappers, and the females have hopped into the high-end consumer arena as well. Saweetie let it be known on Instagram that she is definitely a high-maintenance girlfriend when she uploaded a video of herself telling women that if their men aren't able to make those pricey purchases for them, send them back to the streets. In fact,
think it was the
what the Bay
Birkin
Area
talk.
rapper said was, and if he not getting you a Birkin, and if he
Yeah.
not paying for your bills, then throw that nigga back in the streets. Okay?
Was she canceled for
As you can
that?
imagine, there were some that either saluted this state of mind or found it to be way too much in the gold digger line to get co-signed. It might be diamond digging at that point. Just to be completely clear and add further context to the situation, the very next day after Saweetie made these comments online, she released a song called Back to the Streets that featured Jhené Aiko. Therefore, if we're being fair in all honesty, the statement of hers was probably a promotional move to get her song hot in the digital streets. But regardless, in either way you look at it, it's pushing the message one way or another, and people are consuming that and believing that should be them. But it wasn't enough to get her career cooked at all. Just made fun of and maybe got some heat. 6ix9ine.
Wow.
When it comes to the clash between cancel culture and 6ix9ine, where do you even start? You could start with the obvious, the way he told on his friends and gang-related associates get out of jail free card during that RICO case. There were those child charges, which we would say were potentially the first one.
Ain't
Me
that
personally,
Jade?
I would say the first one was the
Why do you
rainbow
put
hair
Jade
and
up there
big
like that?
tattoos.
Jade is not 16.
There's the choking incident at a shopping mall, the Chief Keef shooting, alleged domestic violence, and the alleged assault. Is it enough
It's
to
a
make you
lot.
wonder, did his fans even care about any of these legal activities
No.
attached to his name? Then there was the moment when 6ix9ine and Chicago rapper King Von beef turned into 6ix9ine hopping online to laugh at rapper Lil Durk continuously in the comment section of a video showing Durk learning that his friend King Von was killed. 6ix9ine pushed the disrespect even further by making fun of Lil Durk and also talking about Durk's cousin Newski, who died. This got 6ix9ine trending on Twitter in a huge storm of criticism. But that's about it. Cancel culture didn't really work. The only time it may have worked was initially in 6ix9ine's career, when he had that child case that was preventing him from a lot of opportunities. But once he was able to get over the hump of that, everything went smoothly. And we can't really say cancel culture is the reason 6ix9ine isn't doing well now. He's not doing well because he burned a lot of bridges. And whose fault is that but his own? Lil Wayne also fell into the category of rappers that supported or seemingly supported the polarizing Donald Trump when Weezy posted a picture on Twitter of himself and Trump in support of the president and his platinum plan aimed towards assisting black
I feel like they
America.
didn't really try
In
to
a tweet,
cancel.
Lil Wayne stated, "Just had a great meeting with @RealDonaldTrump @POTUS. Besides what he's done so far with criminal reform, the platinum plan is going to give the community real ownership. He listened to what we had to say today and assured he can and will get it done." Even with Lil Wayne getting roasted and called a sellout, which Are you selling out to get out of the prison sentence Wayne was gonna get? This man's long-lasting career made it difficult for cancel culture to have an impact. The appetite for his music hasn't slowed down much at all, especially when he's got classics and classics on deck. But from gigantic superstars like Kanye West, Tyler the Creator, Lil Wayne, and 50 Cent, to newer arrivals like 6ix9ine and Saweetie, there are plenty examples of rappers that have faced the flames, the pitchforks, the axes, the hatchets of cancel culture, beat it, and continue to keep rocking after all the smoke is cleared and the dust is settled. At this point, the only way a rapper can truly feel the full negative effect of cancel culture is either because their fans take a stand and stop supporting them altogether, or the targeted artists allow themselves to get pushed out of the way and they give up. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Who are some artists that I missed that you think have been defeated by cancel culture, or that have defeated cancel culture? Let me know.
That's crazy. It's crazy how most of the people that's on this list, I feel like when it comes to cancel culture, they pretty much, I guess, don't care. And that's why they're able to defeat it, or they have been able to defeat it, is because you have to have an I don't give a fuck attitude. That's the only way I feel like you can defeat cancel culture. You have to have an I don't give a fuck attitude. And you have to have a solid fan base, because it's really hard to try to defeat cancel culture and you don't have a solid fan base. If you don't have a solid fan base, then who's going to support your music? Because the general masses, the everyday people that aren't like your solid core, once they stop supporting you, it's like, okay, but your general fan base, you have to have a big and wide enough general fan base to where no matter what, they're going to be down, they're going to ride, they're going to support you. And I feel like most of those people on that list have core fan bases that probably span over 20, 15 years, that no matter what, they're going to stick by them, they're going to ride with them, whatever have you. And again, I feel like you have to have a I don't give a fuck attitude. That's the only way you defeat cancel culture. But anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.
Done it all, been through it all. I walked over the motherfucking fire with sandals. Gonna burn your feet eventually. Mic check.